Okay, so number 2, we have a positive 1 4/5 and a negative 3 4/10. Since my signs are different because this is positive and this is negative, this is a subtraction problem, okay? Forget about your signs. Put your 3 4/10 on the top, and you're going to have to get rid of 1 4/5. Now, I need a common denominator. So if you chose to do it with fractions, this is what you should have done. I'm going to multiply this fraction by 2, and I'm going to get 8/10. Remember last week, I can't do 4 minus 8. So I'm going to take away from my 3, right? I'm going to take that 1 away, and I'm going to add it. I'm not going to add it as 1. I'm going to add it as a fraction. How do I know what goes in my fraction? I look at my denominator. I'm going to add it as 10 over 10. So now I have 14/10 minus 8/10, which is 6/10. 2 minus 1 is 1. This is one correct answer. You might see, oh, I can reduce because both of these are even. So you could also put 1 3/5. Now, for those of you that don't like fractions, I personally think decimals are easier. I'm going to go ahead and turn these into decimals, but that's only because I know a lot of fraction to decimal by heart. You can always put it into a calculator to see if it works, but 1 4/5 is 1.8 because every fifth is worth 20 hundredths, so 20, 40, 60, 80 hundredths or 8/10, so it's 1.8. And then if you know how to say fractions, negative 3 4/10, they're telling you what the decimal is. Okay? So again, I have 2 different signs because this one's positive and this one's negative. That means I have to subtract. I always put the bigger number, forget about the signs, on top. That's going to be 6. That's going to be 1. Now, I have more negatives than positives. I forgot to say this with the fractions. Sorry. So I have negative 1.6. So any of these answers are correct, and you would get full credit on an exit ticket for any of these answers. Question number 3. In the first round, they got negative 60 points. In the second round, they got 80 points. What's their score at the end? Okay, different signs, I subtract. I always put the bigger number, don't worry about the signs yet, on top. Now, I have more positives than negatives, so my answer is positive 20. You should have put choice C. There's a second part to this question. Carter chose A. What do you think his mistake was? How do you think Carter got that answer? Well, Carter added 80 and 60, and he kept the sign. So maybe he thought the 80 was negative, but he definitely added 80 and 60 together, and he kept the sign that they started with. So his mistake was adding. When your signs are different, you have to subtract. So Carter added 80 plus 60. Really, he added negative 80 plus negative 60, if we're going to be exact. We have 4 more practice problems on the next page. You're going to go through all 4, and then you will watch the next video to see if you did them correctly and hear an explanation of anything that you may have misunderstood.